I didn't quit my job, I didn't build an audience, and nothing went viral. But this small milestone quietly changed how I think about money. Most people believe earning money outside a job requires a dramatic move. Starting a business, building a following, taking a risk that feels irreversible. That belief alone keeps many Americans dependent on a single paycheck longer than they need to be. This isn't a story about financial freedom or overnight success. It's about earning the first $1,000 outside a job, slowly, quietly, and without anyone watching. And why that moment matters far more psychologically than financially. When I started, there was nothing set up. No personal brand, no online audience, no specialized credentials, just a regular job, regular bills, and a growing awareness that one income source carries more risk than it appears. Not because the job was unstable, but because life is. Rent doesn't wait. Healthcare doesn't pause. Unexpected expenses don't check whether income has backups. That realization wasn't driven by panic. It was driven by observation. The goal wasn't to replace my job. It wasn't to escape work. The goal was simple. Evidence. Evidence that money could come from a second place, even in small amounts. The early attempts didn't work. I spent time on ideas that sounded impressive instead of practical. I focused on what might work instead of what people already paid for. And I underestimated how uncomfortable it feels to be a beginner again. This is where many people quietly stop. Not because they lack discipline, but because early effort rarely looks productive. There's no external validation, no visible progress, just uncertainty. For a while, nothing earned money. But something else happened that mattered more. The fear of trying began to shrink. When you experiment without pressure to win, your relationship with money shifts. You stop seeing income as something controlled entirely by employers or markets. You start seeing it as something connected to skills, decisions, and problem-solving. Even failed attempts contribute to that shift. They build familiarity. And familiarity reduces fear. That's an overlooked part of financial growth. The first income didn't arrive all at once. It came in small pieces, unremarkable amounts, easy to dismiss. But they were real. And over time, those small amounts added up. When the total crossed $1,000, nothing dramatic changed on the surface. The job was still there. The lifestyle didn't change. There was no sense of arrival. But internally, something important shifted. For the first time, money felt tied to decisions, not just hours worked. That distinction is subtle, but it's foundational. And instead, they start making calmer, more rational decisions. From a psychological standpoint, it is. Before it happens, earning outside a job feels theoretical. After it happens, it feels repeatable, not guaranteed, not fast, not effortless, but possible. That belief changes how people approach learning, patience, and risk. They stop chasing urgency. They stop comparing timelines. They stop looking for shortcuts. Many people treat the first success as proof they need to scale fast. That's usually a mistake. The real value of the first $1,000 is not growth. It's clarity. It shows what kind of effort feels sustainable, what skills are worth improving, and what ideas are grounded in reality, not hype. When people skip this reflection, they often burn out or abandon what was working. Slow confidence beats fast excitement every time. Earning outside your job doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. It doesn't need a big audience, a risky leap, or a perfect plan. It needs one realistic experiment that removes doubt. Not to replace your job, but to reduce how much control it has over how you see your future. Because once money shows up from a second place, even quietly, it never feels theoretical again. Financial confidence doesn't start with large wins. It starts when uncertainty loses some of its power. If this way of thinking resonates, stay with the channel. Future videos break down practical, evidence-based ways Americans build long-term financial stability without hype, pressure, or shortcuts. The goal isn't speed, it's clarity. And clarity compounds, not noise. That's exactly what this channel is for. If you want more calm, evidence-based breakdowns on building financial stability, without hype, shortcuts or pressure, consider subscribing. If you've ever tried earning outside your job, or you're thinking about starting, leave a comment with what's holding you back. I read everyone.